Hello and welcome back. You're going to be joining me today for enrolling students over the phone through NetSuite. My name's Lindsay and welcome to class. The very first thing we want to realize is that each student has their own NetSuite account. So if you were doing more than one student over the phone, they would have separate invoices and separate accounts to do that through. The very first button we want to click to get to our classes that are available would be Class Search, and you can find that on their NetSuite account either at the top of the screen or at the bottom of their screen. Now that we have the Class Search open, we want to fill in the criteria with what we are looking for and what courses are needed. The very first drop-down would be what profession this student is in. We're going to choose appraisal, and that next is going to be education type. Is this going to be a continuing education course or a qualifying education course? Also, we need to know what state the student needs the credit for. And lastly, what delivery method? What type of class is this going to be? Is this going to be a correspondence course? Is it going to be a virtual online class? Or is this going to be a webinar? For the virtual classroom, we're going to select, and now we're going to click Submit. When we click Submit, it's going to show us all of the courses that fit this criteria. So it will be a continuing education courses that are for appraisals in the state of Pennsylvania and that we have through virtual classroom. This shows us every course that we have that is set up for that criteria. Whether it's going to be a core course or an elective, it will all be on this account as long as it meets the criteria we selected. A handy tool to help you is if you select Control F. That's going to bring up this little box where you can type in the name of the course that you're looking for. Even if you know one word in the name, that's going to usually be sufficient enough to help. Let's just say we were working on finding work file course. So now that we've typed in work file, it's going to automatically bring up our work file documentation for appraisers course. That's a 4-hour course. It's offered at $79.99. It's continuing education for Pennsylvania, and it's a virtual classroom elective course. All we would need to do is check mark that that's one of the courses that we want for that student. If we scroll over to the right, there is this little box right here. If you were to select that and put a check mark in it, a new box pops up. This box is going to list all of the other states for appraisal continuing education that that course is accepted in. So let's just say that our student also needed credit for their New York appraisal license number. We can actually find it approved in New York. We would just check mark the box beside it to add that on, and then we would select OK. If we did that, then they would now have one course to work on, but at the end, they would be able to print a certificate for not only Pennsylvania, but New York. Since we're only doing Pennsylvania right now, we're going to go ahead and click Save, and that is going to put that course into our invoice for the student. As you can see on the invoice here, that it gives you the total of what the student is going to pay. The other part we want to look at is our sales information tab. Under this, we want to make sure that we are going to be selecting what type of call it was, whether it was inbound or outbound. Did the student call you or did you call them back? The last two things is that we want to, if there was any discount that we needed to add to that price, then we could find our reasons for discounts under the discount item box. It has such things as free courses, package discounts if they bought more than one course, Also, if we were doing a price match for a competitor, any promotional codes that they have, or if we were going to give our Leaf Decision 5% CSR discount or our supervisor 10% discount. You would select which one you wanted, so standard CSR 5%, and look, the rate already puts in your 5% discount in there. If you look back up at the summary, it now shows that the original price was $79.99. With our 5% discount, it's $4 off, and the student's going to pay a total of $75.99 for this course. You can also see down at the bottom the course that we selected, that it's a virtual classroom, that we are working on appraising continuing education for Pennsylvania, and that it's an elective course. It also added in our Pennsylvania license. Therefore, when the course is completed, the license number for the student will also be on the certificate for them. Next, all we would want to do is click Save an Email, either at the top of the screen or the bottom once again, and that is going to generate the course into their McKissick account. It's also going to send them a invoice for their purchase. That way, if they needed reimbursed from their company or if they needed it for tax purposes next year. With that, remember that on every invoice is a link to a survey for customer service that they can fill out, and we always want the feedback from them. Now, let's say that instead the student wanted a webinar. It's going to be pretty much the same. We're going to once again click our class search. It's going to pop up our class search box, and we need to fill in once again what the criteria we're looking for. As we know, webinars are for appraisal courses, so we're going to select appraisal. They're also always continuing education. The state would be what state the student is licensed in and needs the credit for, and delivery method would now be webinar. So once we click submit, once again, it's going to bring up every course that's a webinar that's approved or accepted in that state for continuing education for appraisers. And here are the list of all our courses. Once again, we want to click Control F to make it easier on ourselves and type the name of the course we are looking for. So, Expert Witness Testimony. As you can see, they are now, for that particular webinar, listed by date order. So let's say we were going to do the October 16th version of this webinar. You can also find that that course is scheduled to start at 12 p.m. and end at 4 p.m. We want to remind our students that that time is Eastern Standard Time, so we don't want them to miss it. We're going to check mark that that's the course that we wanted to add, and then so that it gets put into their into their invoice, we would click Save. As that generates, we're going to notice the change on our invoice. Our total for this one is going to be $84.99. We want to select our call type again. I returned a voicemail from this student, so I called him back to set up the course enrollment. Also, we see that it's a live webinar, so LW. It's the expert witness testimony, the day and times. Once again, it's set up for appraisal continuing education in Pennsylvania and a 4-hour elective course. It also, once again, put in our license number so the certificate prints appropriately, and we would be good to save an email.
There are a few different ways we handle discounts if we're offering more than, say, a single discount. For instance, a package discount or our personal discount against a single course. or a non-package. So on the screen here, you'll see as our example, the Pennsylvania Appraisal Continuing Education packages. The one here on the left is for $29.95. This is what I'm going to have on the mock invoice that I'm going to be showing you. The total of this package for $29.95 with the package discount only is saving our student $149.94. Now, if I did that just as Lindsay showed you, we would put in package. I would select $429.95 because that's the package, and the system does the math for me, so I can see I need to swap that out for the discount, which is the $149.94. However, if I'm adding a personal discount to this package, I need to reduce that total price another 5%. So the way that we figure this out is I'm going to take the package price here for $29.95 and I'm going to multiply that by 95%. So that's subtracting the 5% for the personal discount, which gives us a total of 408, and I'm just going to say 45. So 408.45 would become our discount with the personal 5% off. 408.45. We need to make sure we have a subtraction sign in there, so we're not adding the discount, we're actually subtracting it. And you'll see up here the summary has changed where the package discount will be $171.44. So let me swap that out. And now the package is the correct price with that package discount and also the personal discount of 5%. So that's how you add the two discounts together. If it is a package discount plus a promotional discount, we can only put one in at a time. So if that customer has a discount coupon code, I'm going to use cart 14, which is our abandoned cart discount. It's going to, once I type that in, it's going to auto-fill everything. So it selected promotional discount for the discount item, subtracted the 15% for the rate, and filled out the promotion here and the promo code. So if I change this over to package discount, that puts it back to the minus $10, so it's not including that 15% off for this particular one. So what I'll need to do is actually change that rate to give me the total that I need. So using my math again, I'm going to, for $29.95, enter the total of the package, and now I'm going to subtract or multiply, excuse me, 85%, so 0.85 to give me that 15% total balance here. So the new package would be $365.45. So I'm going to enter that number here on the line here. So $365.45. Actually, I'm going to round that up to 46. Will give us our new package discount of $214.43. So I'm going to swap that out here. So the package with the cart 14 coupon code would end up being $365.46 total. So the moral of this story is if you are applying multiple discounts to a invoice in NetSuite, you'll have to play around with a little bit of math here. Add that package discount plus the additional discount that you're giving them. The important thing we want to remember, if a student is using a promo code or a discount code, we want to make sure that's in this promo code box for sure. The reason we want to make sure it's in there is this field is something that can be searched on. So if our business units want to see what discount or promo codes our customers are using, they can search from this field.
Thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions, always feel free to ask, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Take care. Bye-bye.